It's a story of boy meets girl. They realize they have the paranormal in common and investigate happily ever after. Keep listening to hear some of their favorite experiences. Welcome to the Peep Podcast. I'm your host, Nicolle, and I'm grateful you're here. The two big ideas behind the Peep Podcast are to show that the paranormal is more normal than most people think, and to connect the science to the sci, including ESP, hauntings, and cryptids. In this episode, I'll introduce you to paranormal investigators Angel and Ruth Lopez. But first, I want to say welcome to my new listeners. Thank you for checking out the podcast, and feel free to get in touch if you have your own personal experiences to share. I spent this last weekend at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference in Gatlinburg, Tennessee with my Monster Fest friends, and we had a great time catching up, doing touristy things, and listening to a full day of presentations centered around Bigfoot. It was a lot of fun. If you're a fan of this show and you've never been to a cryptid or paranormal-focused conference, I highly recommend it. 4 years ago, at the first Monster Fest, I made 4 new friends. And then at Monster Fest 2, we met a 5th. They are my tribe, and I love them dearly. Even though Monster Fest is no longer a thing, we gather at a conference once a year, pick up where we left off, and have a blast. And in the process, we also learn more about the research happening in the field and make new connections. There are a ton of these types of events out there now, and there's probably one near you. So if you're on the fence, pick one nearby and just go. Now back to this week's interview. Ruth and Angel Lopez have both had paranormal experiences since childhood. Eventually, they met, fell in love, got married, and started Durham Paranormal, based in Durham, North Carolina. I'll let them fill you in on their story. Let's dive in with Angel and Ruth. Hi, Angel and Ruth. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Very good.
I'm very good. I'm excited to talk to you about your experiences investigating the paranormal. But first, I want to ask how each of you got started.
So I will start saying the first time my experience was seeing a full body apparition at around 8 years old.
Oh my.
So yeah, that started my interest in the paranormal since a young age.
So, okay, I have to ask for more detail. Like, where were you? What was the apparition?
Yes, my father used to own a small store, and it was kind of like the point that he was closing down the for the night, and I saw a person getting into the store. Like I can still describe it at this point. And I told him, "Hey, did you take care of the guy that get into the store?" And he said, "There is nobody there." But yeah, I said, "Yeah, I swear that I saw somebody getting into the store." And he's an old gentleman dressing a suit, gray color, bald, this, and this, and this, and this. And he said, "No, there's nobody. You can check. There's nobody there."
So he didn't see it at all. You
Nope.
saw it. So you're sensitive.
Sometimes, yes.
Okay.
Sometimes I can hear, see them, or talk to them, but yeah. Not
Okay.
a medium, like what they call it these days.
I definitely understand needing to make that difference. I'm the same way. Like it can happen, but I'm not going to intentionally talk to a dead person except when I'm doing EVP sessions. So, what about you, Ruth?
So I grew up with stories about how my great grandmother was, in fact, a medium, and she will lead, uh, seances and all kinds of things. How my grandfather was also a medium, and but it was always kind of like on the hush hush, like we don't talk about this, we don't do these things anymore. I grew up in a very traditional Christian household where all of that was, we put that in the past, and your grandfather left all that in the past, and we don't do that because all of that is bad and it's evil. So but there was always this, my mom, and they were always very sensitive about premonitions or things that might happen, and I grew up with that. And then after my grandfather passed, I was about 12 or 13, that I saw him sitting on my living room, and I was like, oh, so it is true, it's real. Yeah. And but we kind of like never talk about it in the house because my mom didn't want any talk about that. But
Mm,
my sister and I always talk about it, like secretly in our
right.
room, because we both have seen, my grandfather. And then when Angel and I met, we kind of like started talking about ghosts one day, and I'm like, oh, you know what, this happened to me too. And that kind of like, we started talking about more of the paranormal and doing this kind of like, we started going on ghost tours when we were visiting a city, and that one thing led to the next, and so here we are.
Married and doing paranormal investigations. That's
Yep.
Yeah.
sounds like a good pairing. You met your match. That's awesome. So, of the places you've investigated, what are some of your favorites?
It's a long list.
It's a long list, but I will say Trans Allegheny,
Okay.
one of our favorite ones.
It was the first place that we did an actual like full like investigation, and I think that kind of like,
Yeah,
left a mark. We've been there three
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 times. Yeah.
times three times. It never disappoints. It's a place that I think it's one of our favorites. I also like Ohio State Reformatory.
Ohio State is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so we'll start with Trans Allegheny. Can you describe some of the experiences you've had there?
Yes, on the we got a little bit of interaction or evidence in the fourth floor. Where there is a spirit that they call the creeper there.
Mm, I've heard about that one.
Yeah, we kind of like. I think it's very disrespectful, but he doesn't like it. But I think we capture him on the walls, like kind of moving along the walls. And I would say third floor or second floor where the kids and teenagers area were. There is another spirit that likes to be in there, and he got really mad when we called him out for being a children's area, being an adult.
Oh,
He cussed at us.
Yeah, he
so
was not happy.
It's
so
not.
you got that on a digital voice recorder?
Yes,
Yeah.
and the last one, and that was on our first trip. There is a lady that obviously she don't like men. That her name is Ruth, and I went to his room and I started knocking on the door. And says, Ruth, I know you're here. Can you come out and talk to us? And she came out. She touched me in my head and she scratched me
Oh, no. On your head? She
on
scratched
my
you
arm.
or
She's
on your
cracking.
arm?
Yeah.
Yes,
Did she draw blood or just enough to make a mark?
it was enough to see a straight line
Oh,
on my forearm, like red. And the tour guide said, "What happened?" I said, "Somebody just scratched me." So say, "Okay, don't worry. It will be gone in a few minutes." So it was, yeah.
he was just nonchalant about the whole thing, like just
Yeah.
used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
and Trans Allegheny, one of the experiences I remember, it's actually not related to any of the most famous spirits. It's actually on the floor where the room that all of the toys people leave for the little girl. And I remember, most of the group that we're with at that point were in that room. And I'm standing more towards the middle, and I see someone, and I did that double take. It's like, and the tour guide, he's like, "Did you just saw something?" And I'm like, I think I did. And it was like farther down the hallway, and he's like, "What do you think you saw?" And I'm like, I saw a man walking across the hallway, kind of like going into the room. And he's like, "Can you describe him?" I'm like, "He looked very sick. Like, he looked very, very thin, very." And he's like, "Come with me." And so we started walking, and at that point they had a photograph display, because in that area was during the 80s where they had HIV patients at Trans Allegheny. And like, as I'm like looking, and he's like, using the flashlight to the uh, light on the pictures, I saw in the picture the man I saw walking. And so it was like, that for me was a big moment. I got very emotional about it, because it was not one of the known or most common spirits, but I saw him, and he's like, "Yeah, this particular wing at some point during the 80s was used to basically a hospice for HIV patients." And
Wow.
that's what I saw at the Trans Allegheny.
Do you think it might have been like a residual haunting in that
Yeah,
case?
it felt, yeah. Now, back in the day, back when that we did that, I was not too familiar with what is a residual versus what is an active haunting. But yeah, that definitely, it would be a residual energy of that man.
Yeah.
But it affected me pretty seriously in that
Yeah.
moment.
It's so sad to think about that. That's that would have affected me too. Um, do you have any other Trans Allegheny stories?
Yes, our last trip, we went to the laboratory recovery,
Oh, the lobotomy. It's
and
different.
Whoa.
yeah, there is so many. It's kind of like a basement or
Yeah.
lower level, and I just keep walking with my recorder in hand, and I got a voice of like, kind of look, sound like a patient says, "What are you doing here?" Yeah. It was cool because we got the music box, and we asked, "Can you touch the music box?" The music box went off,
Oh
and then
wow.
yeah, we have an interaction in that level.
Wow. I have I don't tend to go to places like Trans Allegheny and OSR because I'm an empath and it's a little too heavy for me. But I love hearing the stories. So
Me
that's
too.
why I ask. I
I,
love
I
hearing.
do I do regret it every time we go to those places. Honestly, I do get physically sick in many places. We have a friend who's a medium, and she had told me that I feel things. It's
Mhm.
it's kind of like my kind of sensitivity. So when we go to hospitals or all those, like, I feel physical pain. So
Yeah.
whether it's my stomach, my head, so like if there's been like some sort of like severe injury or some kind of like, I feel physically, and it gets yeah, I call it my paranormal hangover the day after,
Uh-huh.
because the day after a heavy investigation, I'm like, I have headaches, I have no energy, sometimes I get nauseous. So it's, yeah, but it comes with the territory, so what are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
Yeah, and that's how I am too. We call it being a physical empath because you
Mhm.
are literally feeling somebody else's pains or
Pain,
sickness or
yeah, and
and
sadness, and
yeah, and it's it can be really hard on you and it's just something that I decided I didn't need to expose myself to the extreme of a place like that. But again, like I said, I love to hear the stories, and you're brave to do that, knowing that you're a physical empath. So,
Yeah, it's hard. I think one of the hardest one was in St. Albans.
oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, it
So,
the Rebecca, the famous spirit, that there's different stories whether she actually lost her baby, or it was four of us, six of us.
6 of us.
It was three couples that we were there, and we were next to her room, what's commonly known as the
That's they call the
suicide bathroom.
yeah.
And we were trying to get interactions, and at some point we felt things, but like I kind of noticed like there was something that it was kind of like they don't want to. And so I suggest to the other two ladies that were with me, what about if only the woman go into her room, and we leave the man out?
Hmm.
And so we went, and they started talking and communicating with her, and suddenly I felt the saddest and the most painful, overwhelming sadness that I have felt in my life, and I started crying, and I could not stop crying,
Oh, wow.
to the point that I left the building. Like, I didn't care, by myself, dark. I just like ran out all of the stairs, and I went outside, and for the rest of the night I did not step back into the building. It was like extremely overwhelming. It was like
Wow.
very, very sad.
That was, um, well, unfortunate that you had such a negative experience, but St. Albans is one of the places that I've been to, and most of the night, we did not have anything happen until right before we were ready to leave. We said, okay, let's do one more quick walkthrough and just
Mhm.
see what, and then we got some activity, but it wasn't in that room. Um, when I think it was either me, like I had protected myself too much, or somebody else with us, we were having a hard time getting a lot of
That's
stuff going
usually
on.
the hard part, right? You need to protect yourself, especially if you are sensitive to the emotions of the place. But also there is such a thing as too much protection, and then you don't get activity, you don't get anything. So it's a hard balance to keep.
Yeah, it really is. So it is. I was iffy about the place. It is good, especially that area, because they talked it up so much and we got nothing up there. So it's interesting to know you had the complete opposite experience of me.
Yeah. But it was very interesting, because as long as the guys were in the room with us, nothing was happening. Like, nothing was, we were sitting there,
Mm.
and then suddenly I'm like, you know what? Let's kick all of the men out. Let's just do
Yeah.
only the woman. And sometimes, it's you have to pick who's gonna be bait.
Right? And no, that was really smart because you're in a room where a woman had a very personal
Experience.
female
Mhm.
experience. Um, yeah, I think it was smart, but again, it turned into a
I paid
very
the price.
heavy
I
situation.
mean,
Yeah.
there were three of us. It could have been any of us, but
Right.
apparently
Right.
she picked me. So
Right. Um, yeah, and see, when I was in that room, it was just me and two guys, and so that might have been part of the issue is, and I didn't even think about the fact that maybe she didn't want guys around if she was gonna share her experience with you.
yeah, she did.
So, tell me about Ohio State Reformatory. This is just to let you know, like no pressure or anything. But the episode that released today, I just had a long conversation about it with Eric Singleton because he's had a lot of experiences there too. You haven't met him. He's a member of Spirits and Spooks, but he hasn't been to any of the dinners yet. Because he actually lives in Wilmington. But so I hopefully by now the people listening, if they haven't already looked up Ohio State Reformatory, they will, because it is definitely a hot spot, and
It
I'd love to
is.
hear about your experiences.
Let's see. We got the first time we went there was a public event, which there was a lot of people, but after some point, like midnight, some people get tired and they start leaving. So give us more space. And outside the electric chair room, so they have the electric chair from Ohio State
Penitentiary.
The penitentiary was
From it's not from there. They do have when we went, they had it's an electric chair from somewhere.
It's from, I think, from the state of Ohio. There was like exhibit.
There was an exhibit.
And then
Okay.
during the day you can go in and we saw it, we take pictures and everything. But during the night they close it for people to go into that room.
So you're not allowed to investigate where the electric chair they had it for the exhibit, because it's the actual electric chair. But they allowed you to sit outside of the door of the room where. So that's what we did. We sat there.
Yes. And I'm running one of my, I love these devices, the portals that I made. And we keep seeing shadows like under the door moving inside the room. And we asked, can you tell us your name? And through the portal, and I got it on recording, it says Richard, like really, really clear. And then we asked, do you know where you are? And it came out Mansfield. So
Wow.
clear that you cannot debunk that.
And we had the portal was running. We had the EMF next to the portal, and as you were seeing the shadows from underneath the door, the EMF was reacting to the shadows. So we had like a lot of evidence that we're just sitting on the floor, the door closed, and the electric chair behind. It was pretty intense.
Yes, and we got the recording about like it sound like a security guard hitting the bars and telling the inmates to go back in.
Get back.
Yeah. Get back. And you can hear the tan, 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 tan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was super interesting, because we were walking. I don't remember which of the cell blocks was it, but we were walking around on the cell block, and we had the digital recorder. We're walking around with the digital recorder, and it's one of those things that you don't think that you get anything. And then when Angel was listening to it, you can hear our footsteps, and then you hear like a clear bang, bang, bang on metal, and then you hear the voice that says "get back," and then you hear again the banging on the bars, and we were like, there was no one there, like no one, not even on the cell block, there was no one else there, and that was one of the coolest things that happened in OSR.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So that one definitely sounds residual, because that would be something that would have happened over and over.
Yes.
Over and over, yeah.
And over and over. I think at the end of the night, I started taking a few pictures before we left. It was kind of like 3 a.m. And I'm still running my radio, and I'm taking pictures from the first floor, and through the radio says stop. And I keep taking pictures, and I took a second one, so stop. So on the third one, they yell at me, stop.
I'm like, at this point, I'm tired. I'm sitting there next to the radio, and I'm like, they're telling you to stop. Like,
yes.
They don't want you to take more pictures. And they just kept taking pictures, and they yelled. I'm like,
yeah, they yell at me, and then whoever it was came back home with me.
Yeah, came back home with us.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So that was a surprise.
How did you figure out that they followed you home?
Because it was an unfamiliar spirit in our house.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have some residents, and sometimes when we go to places, we get a couple of hitchhikers, but they never linger too much. This guy, we had to kick out. Like,
yeah,
we had to like say, yeah, you're not welcome here, and we both started seeing him about the same time in different like occasions, and it was a terrifying figure. It was
Yeah, it was
extremely tall,
dark,
dark,
mean.
mean vibes. Like it was.
Hmm.
I was like, "Oh, you no, you don't belong here. Like you're not one of our regulars." And
Yeah.
yeah,
It was impressive because I pulled my radio and started asking my spirit box, I guess, who are you? And came through, says the devil.
Oh no.
And then, which spooked me for a minute. I say, wait, you're trying to scare me. So, say, how many are you? Hundreds. Yeah. So,
You really got that?
yeah, I
That's
got all in recordings. Yeah.
that's as bad as I Am Legion.
yeah,
That's
that's kind
not
of like
what you want to hear in your
that's
home.
no,
Yeah. So I said, okay, so it's time to clean the house.
Yeah. Right?
yeah, and we did, and it worked. He was gone, and none of our regulars were gone. So
That's good.
yeah,
Yeah, I know when you have like family spirits or friends who have passed, like those are the ones you don't mind hanging out or visiting. But yeah, I
we
have
know three, at least of three. His dad, it's one of the spirits that hangs around. We have a young girl, just hangs around the house, um, and a boy
Mhm.
that just skitters down the hallway. You can see him like peeking around here and there. The girl has actually, when Angel is working on equipment and testing equipment, they have come through, both the girl and the boy.
Yeah.
They have come through. Like we call them our quality support, quality assurance team here.
okay. I thought you were gonna say we call them our children. I was gonna
No. They're
think
they're staff. They're part of the staff.
no
They help
child
with,
labor.
no, but they help with quality control, and it's like we know. The girl is actually, it's one of those spirits that it was a little bit shy
Mhm.
when she started coming around, but now like she's very interested. Like when I'm doing like stuff like my nails or stuff like that, you can always feel her, like she's kind of like watching what we're doing.
Yeah.
There's like, there used to be cemeteries around before this was built and all of that, so I'm guessing that's where they come from.
Yeah. I most likely. And you two are both sensitive, so you're like giant beacons to them.
And Angel tests equipment here all the time too, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like,
So you're kind of
hey,
inviting them.
we are inviting them.
Yeah.
But I
Okay.
think that they're pretty nice, and I think they keep an eye for anything that's not supposed to be here too.
Yeah. And I am I mean, I don't know your father, Angel, but feel like he would be a protector. Like,
Yeah,
so if somebody got there and got a little out of hand, he would help you get rid of them.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
That's good.
And those are good experiences in OSR.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, well, I mean, I've heard a lot about OSR. I think you're the first one I've heard about picking up a hitchhiker. So, yeah, that is something to be aware of. When I investigate, before I leave, I always say nobody is allowed to follow me home and try to set that rule so I don't pick up a hitchhiker. The one time I did, I wasn't investigating. I was just in a place that was haunted and I didn't even think about saying that as I was leaving. Yeah, and then I had somebody hanging out with me for a while. Um, but yeah, I do you when you leave, do you say something like that
we do now.
typically? Okay, so lesson
Yeah,
learned. It
lesson learned. Yeah,
yeah,
lesson learned. We did learn the lesson. I mean, I think that was like maybe our second big investigation that we did. We were
Mhm.
we were pretty new.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we did learn.
Yeah. I wonder, and there's no way you would know this answer, but how often people get followed home from OSR,
Yeah, I don't know.
I, I don't know. I mean, were they able to see him? That was the problem.
Yeah,
right?
you might be followed, but you might not know that you're being followed.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. And do you know, if they come and they see, okay, well, this place is boring, I'll go back to OSR and wait for the next person. Who knows how that works?
They're like, oh yeah, they don't even see me. I'm going back. Find someone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. I need to be where I can mess with people.
And they do like it. One thing that I like being, we have been to both like sanitarians, like St. Albans, Trans Allegheny, and we've been to OSR and different. We've been to another jails. I don't think
Oh,
so.
West Virginia
Oh, West
Penitentiary.
Virginia Penitentiary, and
Mm.
and like the spirits that like hang in those places are very different. Like when you go to these hospitals and these places, you do get a lot of sadness, a lot of there are one or two that are mean, but it's not the same level of mean. But when you go to a jail or something like that, like they are mean because they were mean in life, and
Right.
it's like they were mean in life, they're gonna be mean in the afterlife, and those yeah, they can get a little rowdy.
Mhm. Yeah. And what else? I went somewhere else. I don't remember where, that there was a spirit that showed up, and one day I think Ruth saw it first, and then the next day I saw her like beside me when I was just going ready to go to bed, and he was
Oh,
just staring at me like right in my face.
not cool.
Is that the other one that show up here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
So you've
Yeah.
had a couple of hitchhikers, not
Yes.
just one.
It was that happened here. That was a funny. I found it funny now. um Angel, being the good husband that he is, and me being the spoiled princess that I am, brings me coffee every morning when I'm in bed. And I think it's Angel. My eyes are still closed. And I feel like there's someone like staring at my face. And like my brain, I'm like, what is he doing? Also, why I don't smell the coffee if he's there? And then I open my eyes. I'm like, oh no. And then I told Angel about it. And then the next night, like when he was gonna go to bed, like he saw him like doing the same thing, staring at him. I'm like, okay, you have to get out. You're creeping me out.
yeah.
Yeah, that is quite creepy.
Yeah, I was
It's
telling you are not allowing our room. You can hang around the house, but the room is
Out out of limits.
out of limit. Yeah,
We
don't cross
haven't
that.
seen him in the room anymore.
No, I think he left after a few days.
yeah. So he was given a limit and he got bored.
Yeah.
But I could swear it was him. I'm like, why is he just staring at me if he's just bringing me coffee? Also, why I don't smell coffee?
Right. Where is the coffee?
Where is the coffee?
So of I mean, you just described a lot of creepiness, but which or if you told me about what is the creepiest thing? I mean, is it one of those or is there something else?
No, the Warrens Museum.
Oh, you've been there. I have not. So what made it creepiest? What happened?
So we investigated the museum and we stayed at the house. There was we were getting the tour of the house, and I started feeling sick to my stomach when we were in the basement. So I stepped out, and then the tour guides just leave us, and we started investigating in the basement, and which is where Ed and Lorraine will discuss their cases, and it has the door that connects to the museum from the inside of the house. And I had to, few minutes there, I had to go upstairs sick, like I got sick. I had to go to the bathroom.
Wow.
Which in the 5 years that we have been investigating, I have never get, sick to my stomach like that. And I was like, this doesn't feel right. I knew I hadn't eaten anything that was, and then we went back to the basement and it happened a second time. So when it went time to get back and they were allowed us into the museum, the guy who, hosted us, we talk about it and I spent some time in the little praying meditation area and talking about it and got myself centered. And they do have like blessed rosaries and all of that. And for me, the rest of the night was pretty, that was like the hardest thing that happened to me. But then when we're in the museum, of all of the objects they have, including Annabelle, the creepiest thing for me was the mirror. The cursed mirror.
Yeah, the mirror that's the one used on the last movie, The Last Ride.
Okay.
That's the mirror.
And so I'm looking at the mirror and I'm seeing something that I was like, this is really creepy and disturbing. But I look at Angel and I'm like, I want you to look in the mirror and tell me what you see. Like I did not tell him what I was seeing in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So Angel goes and stands in front of the mirror, starts looking at the mirror, and he's like, what the hell? And I'm like, what are you seeing? So he saw his face turn into a skull.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And I'm like, that's not what I saw. I saw my face. My hair started changing, turning all black in the reflection on the mirror. And my face started turning into an old woman, gaunt, old. It was
wow.
the creepiest thing I have seen in my life. I got goosebumps just thinking about that. But I was like, tell me what you see. But I didn't tell him what I see. And then he sees something completely different when he's looking at himself in the mirror, both extremely creepy and both completely different.
Right. Mm-hmm. But both of them, as the person looking into the mirror sees themselves change in a very nasty, negative way.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. No, thank you.
yeah. That's what I said.
I'll skip that.
I told him, I'm like, there's, places that I have gone multiple times and I will go again. The Warrens Museum, it's a one and done.
Yeah, because even the Annabelle doll, we got the feeling that
Annabelle
she's so nice that you want to get in there and grab it.
Oh,
that's the feeling you get from her.
Yeah, you get this. Like I was sitting in the chair next and you just look at her and you're like, your brain is telling you, oh my God, she's so cute. Like that's all you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like she wants you to touch her.
Yes.
And that's what you're feeling while you're there. Like you want to touch her. Like it's like, and even like a warm feeling from like, like a rainbows and butterflies feeling.
Yes.
I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah. But, like, she's trying to be attractive to.
When you're in her presence, you feel like you want to touch her, you want to grab her. Like that's what she's trying to make you touch her.
Mm-hmm.
It's creepy, but I think it has been the most intense place we have been, but also one and done. Thank you very much. No interest in staying again there.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that, especially with for me, the worst part would have been getting so sick that that's not good.
The guy who was the guy, like the person who's like still like kind of like letting people in the house, and he's like, hey, not many people can say they threw up in Lorraine's Warren bathroom.
True.
I'm
Not
like,
the, I mean,
thank
some,
you.
right. Like, do I get charged extra for this or what? Can I get a
I
discount
mean,
actually?
he was very gracious about the whole thing. You know, he's like, you know, he made me laugh a lot, and he did say that was part of the, you know, he's like, I want to make you laugh. I need to make you laugh because both Ed and Lorraine were very like, you know, you combat all of these things with
Laughter.
happiness.
Yeah,
So with
laughter.
laughter, like he's like, I'm trying to make you laugh, and I'm like, yeah, well, you're doing a great job. Like
Yeah.
it's working, it's working. But yeah, it's no, one and done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also in the apartment, they have a
Oh, yeah,
an apartment on the
top of the house.
kind of like a top of the house. It's not, you have to go out from out the outside, and we were giving time to the other team that were in the basement and the first floor. So we went up there and we start talking to somebody that it was activating, interacting with the tripwire and the SLS camera, and suddenly I got grabbed by my ribs, like somebody was like putting the hands from inside out.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that was really painful because he grabbed me on the left side and he kept pulling, pulling, and pulling.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So
Okay, what did you do? Like how did you make it stop?
um, well, we hang in there. I didn't say
Yeah, he
anything.
just hanging there. He took it like a champ. But we all left with blessed rosaries that place. Let me
Oh,
tell you.
that's
Yes.
good. Oh my gosh.
And there was multiple, you know, holy water cleansings and prayers in that before we left because it is no joke.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
definitely.
I think, you know, I get pretty irked about people that make shows and throw, you know, the D word, like we like to call it, around. And
Hmm.
I'm like, no, mm-mm. Not every mean, evil spirit out there. It is something darker. If you ever come in contact with one of those things, you will know.
Yeah.
And definitely, even with like a place like the Warrens Museum, with the level of protections that they have in place, the priest that comes and bless, you know,
Monday,
every
yeah.
Monday, you know, it's like, and even with all of those layers of protection that they have in place, the intensity of the experiences we had in there, it's like, you guys just, you know, you're just throwing things out there for the views, for the likes, for the whatever. It's not that.
Yeah. That's that is pretty intense. And I had heard about the weekly blessings.
Mhm.
So it's good to know they actually do that. I wasn't sure if that was just a rumor.
Yeah, no, it is true. They do have a priest that comes weekly, bless, and the door leading from the museum to the house, it's also, they're also blessed with holy oil, and they have like a little prayer meditation area where she used to have her chickens, where the chicken coop was. You know, it has like, you know, San Michael, the prayer, and there are blessed rosaries there for people to take home, to take during the night, to whenever they need it, whenever they just need a moment to center themselves for clarity and whatever. There's like a nice little bench, a little area for that, and you need it. I don't
Yeah.
care how strong you say you are, you will need it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that place is on my nope list, my no thank you list. Um,
Hey, it was a once in a lifetime opportunity.
yeah,
What can
I
I
know.
say?
I know, right? And having been around this and been investigating and researching and reading since I was a teenager, the Warrens are a big deal. So I could see that. But after hearing your experiences, I'm like, no, I think I'll pass on that one. For the same reason that I pass on, the old penitentiaries and the insane asylums. Like I don't want to expose myself to that. I have enough stuff that just happens without asking for
It is, but
Oh, I had a question. I forgot it already. Hang on. So when going back to when you cleared your house of the hitchhiker, um, did you smudge? Did you use
yep,
holy water?
yeah.
Okay.
I actually use sage and Palo Santo.
Mhm.
And I use Florida water.
What is
It's
Florida. It's kind of like a greenish.
it's okay. So this
Yeah.
this goes back to the Caribbean roots kind of thing. It's
okay?
kind of like it smelled like Florida. It's a water that it's kind of like it's used in a lot of rituals in the Caribbean as a cleansing,
Okay.
for spirits. And I know my grandfather always had it in his nightstand, and he will clean himself with it every day. So that's where we use that. It smells like oranges, and it's
Herbs. Yeah.
herbs.
Like
It's
mint.
mint. Yeah,
Minty. Yeah.
it is. It's old. This is like an old product that it was at some point, I guess, used like some kind of cologne or whatever,
Okay.
and somehow got in weaved into cleansing rituals in Puerto Rico and the Caribbean. And yeah, so that was kind of like my go-to.
I like it. I hadn't heard of that before. But I could see, I know citrus in Italian and Sicilian folklore, it's lemons.
Lemons,
So
yeah.
yeah, I know citrus can be cleansing.
Cleansing, yeah.
And then there's always herbs that are, different
Yeah.
herbs are great
Look,
for
when you
things.
look at the bottle, it's kind of like bluey greenish, and it smells very like strong of citrus. It's yeah. But
Sounds like some.
it was one of those that he was menacing, but he wasn't too. It's like, I'm gonna start with this, and if we need the big guns, we'll get the big guns. But yeah, some sage, Palo Santo, and some sprinklings of Florida water here and there. It just got the
It
job
did
done.
it did it. That's good. I always have to ask because I just my go-to is sage and then using holy water to make the
Mhm.
sign of the cross because
Yeah,
I'm Catholic. Um and it for me it's always worked, but I'm always curious to hear what works for other people.
yeah. I mean, holy water always works.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of times prayer works too. Sometimes you just
Mhm.
have to take it up to the next level.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. I know we're coming up on an hour. Did you have any other stories you wanted to share?
Other
I think those
stories.
are the highlights.
I mean,
Highlights.
that's a lot.
Eh,
I mean, we got chased on Waverly on the shoot, the body
oh
shoot.
yes,
Chased?
yes. We went
Uh,
all the way down to the body shoot on Waverly Hills.
yeah.
On our way back, we can feel like people were following us,
Following,
like
walking behind us.
behind us.
Oh, I hate that feeling.
And you could hear the steps. Like, we were not only feeling them, you could hear their footsteps behind our footsteps.
Oh,
It
wow.
was very creepy.
Okay,
Yeah.
did you break out into a run or
I
okay.
don't run. Not
Well,
even for if you see me running, it's something extremely serious, because
yeah.
not even a ghost is gonna make me run. I'm like, no, sir, no, thank you. It
Yeah.
was hot. It was summer. There were a lot of steps. I'm sorry, you can chase me, but I'm not gonna run.
Yes. Hospital, the old hospital on College Hill. We heard the heart machine going off, like the beep beep
Oh, wow.
beep. And there is no power in that.
There is no power in the building. Like,
Yeah.
and happened multiple times during
Yes.
the night. Like, we could be just like sitting in a room, and suddenly you hear beep, beep.
Yeah. That was really
We're
awesome.
like,
That's wild.
yeah, that one was pretty wild. Yeah, we have a lot of stories.
Yeah.
You do. And I totally appreciate you coming on to share them, because this was a really good conversation. And I know some places that I won't be going.
Well, I mean, they're moving the museum out of the Warrens' house. You can still stay in their house after, but they're moving the museum. So
Mhm.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. Where are they? Do you know where they're moving it to?
Salem,
Oh, well, that's appropriate.
right?
Okay.
I do think that once they move the museum out, a lot of the activity in the house will quiet
Yeah.
down a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still, I mean, it's the Warrens' house. It was an amazing experience to be able to stay there and see, like, there's a lot of pictures, like their family pictures, like the place is very well, like, preserved. It was an amazing experience just to be there. You're like, wow, this is the Warrens' house.
Yeah.
Anyone who grew up with the paranormal, it's like, yeah, this, yeah, it was
Well,
great.
knowing that they're moving the museum, maybe the house will go back on my
Maybe you
list.
can go to the house now.
Right. Yeah. The museum is not on my list. It's one of those places, I think, yeah, just after having picked up a few hitchhikers in the past, I just don't think I need to go to a place like that. Yeah.
But it's cool. Even Tribeca Clinic, we went there, and
Mhm.
I got one of the little girls beside me say, "I'm right behind you."
Oh,
Yeah, and the
was that on
second
the
floor.
spirit box?
Uh, on my recorder.
On your recorder? Okay.
Yes.
We did that one a few months ago. I can't remember which month it was, but it might have been May or April. I don't know. This year has flown by. I can't believe it's already July.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
we did that and we had a spirit box going. And for me, those are distracting because I actually prefer, the quiet EVP
Pick it up.
sessions so I can kind of tune in, and yeah. So I
He
didn't
loves
feel
his
anything.
gadgets, and it's fine. I'm with you on that one. I prefer to feel what's going on in the room and get the digital recorder and get
Yeah.
stuff out of it. But yeah, he loves his gadgets,
Yeah.
and they're
And
fine. They're
they are fine. I
they're fine.
mean, it's not my thing, but I'm not going to tell other people they can't use it.
Right.
So,
I mean, I use it sometimes, like we do, like a confirmation, kind of like I tell Angel, I'm like, okay, there is something here. I feel someone here, and then we kind of like bring out the equipment a little bit and kind of like and it's kind of like, but I'm like you, I do prefer a little bit more of the quiet, just sitting there. And we do both during the night. You go back and forth,
yeah.
sometimes it's long. Sometimes they prefer some things over others. It's kind of.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think we got anything on the spirit box either. So it was, it also just didn't feel like anything was going on there,
That
which,
place is interesting. Sometimes is
Yeah.
really
Sometimes
active. Sometimes,
yeah.
yeah,
and
it was
also
just,
it's one of those places that is so small,
mhm.
and it's an old building. Everything in kind of like so it's hard if you go, like, there's a lot of people. It's not you know
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's good with very, very, very small groups. And I do think it's a place that actually the quieter things work better, and that sometimes that happen. Like, there's certain places that the energy is more conducive to
Mhm.
certain equipment than others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. And now that I think about it, it might have been March because it was really, really cold, especially down in the
In the
basement, and
basement.
we could not get warm. They were like, "Yeah, we have a space heater." You had to be practically sitting on the space heater, and there were 5 or 6 of us there, so that was not happening. Like,
Yeah. But
it was so cold.
I don't think the worst experience is being when I went to Madison Seminary and Fairfield County Infirmary in February.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
during the ice storm this year, during
Yeah.
the
Oh,
cold.
Heck no, never again in winter. No.
uh-uh.
It was your idea to go to Ohio in the winter. I told you I'm not going. I'm like, I love you. I usually tag along of all of these things, but it's February and I am not going to Ohio with you.
Yes, it was terrible. It was like -12 inside the building. So
That is not healthy.
No,
that was terrible.
we were freezing down here in North Carolina, and it was in the negatives in Ohio. It was early this year when we were getting all of the big like snowstorms and the
Yeah,
Arctic whatever. Yeah,
right.
no, thank you. Mm-mm.
So, okay. Did you get activity there?
Yes, Fairfield. I got people walking on the attic.
Right.
The attic was where they usually punish the people that used to live in there. They have like chain. They have the chain them to the wall because they were not doing their job.
Oh my gosh.
And
Okay.
we heard steps. And through a recorder, I got. We asked why you're not communicating with us because none of the equipment were going off. And they said the pain is so bad.
Oh no.
Yes.
Okay, so this actually goes back to a conversation I had with Eric on the episode that just released today. So, two things. One is we were talking about how it seems like some places when it's colder, there's more activity, and you would have to go back in the summer to see if, what the comparison is. But the other thing is we were talking about the old stereotypical sound of chains in the attic, and I was like, why, is that something that we're just expecting to hear? But you actually had a situation where it made sense that you heard chains in the attic.
Yeah.
So-
Mhm. Yeah. And Madison, it was kind of quiet. There also an attic part. Music box was active, and then by the time they say, "Okay, let's go back down," the tour guy says, "The guy that used to stay in this room, when he don't like you, he will close the door."
okay.
So we pick everything up. I pick up my cameras, and then I asked my friend, "Did you close that door?" He said, "No, the door closed by itself." And we saw it like, look. I said, "Wow, I don't have anything. I don't have it on a camera or anything because I was ready to go to the first floor."
And don't you love it when that happens? You're like,
Yeah,
That's the worst.
yeah, but
And
it was
that's
it was cool.
so, but does that mean it didn't like you?
I guess so.
Oh, that's so wrong. But I'm glad you got to see it.
Yes,
like, get out of here.
yeah. But we got some. I mean, we've been so many places that we got so many stories.
Yeah. No, I do appreciate you sharing them. I'm gonna call this a wrap this time,
Yeah.
but you're always welcome to come back on and share some more if you want to.
Well,
But
we'll update you after our summer trips. We're going to Old Harriman Hospital in Tennessee.
Yes.
okay.
We're gonna go to Gettysburg,
Oh, cool.
and we're gonna go to the Savannah Theater.
Savannah Theater, Sorel,
Sorel Wit House, sorry,
and Charleston
Charleston, and Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's a lot.
still pending Trans Allegheny, the outer buildings.
We've never been to the outer buildings. In
Okay.
Yeah, medical, geriatric, and the medical, geriatric, and the lobotomy, I think.
Oh yeah, the lobotomy. Yeah.
Building. Yeah. So
And we're staying in a haunted inn in Gettysburg, so
yes.
hopefully we'll.
Yeah, get the full experience.
Yeah, I mean, might as well.
Right? If you're gonna go to Gettysburg, that's what you have to do. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing about those experiences too.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Angel and Ruth for sharing their experiences, and thank you for listening. If you want to share your own personal paranormal experiences of any type, use the Share Your Personal Experience button and fill out the form at peeppodcast.com to get in touch. You can be as anonymous as you like, or you can let your paranormal freak flag fly and share your name. Either way, I'm happy to hear from you. Sharing our stories helps people realize that the paranormal is much more normal than they think. That's PEEP podcast.com. Remember, that stands for People Experiencing Everyday Paranormal. While you're there, subscribe to my newsletter to keep up with the podcast and all my creative and energetic endeavors. I usually only email it once a month unless I have a special event you should know about. I actually missed the email in June. I am sorry. And I am not sure that I'm going to get one out in July because there's been a lot going on here. So when I say I usually email it once a month, that's maximum. I will not spam you, I promise. If you sign up, you'll receive briefs on recent episodes, behind-the-scenes moments, information on upcoming appearances, especially when we get into October and I am visiting 10 Wake County libraries, and also occasionally fun extras. If you enjoy the podcast, please give it some rating love on your favorite podcast app and share it with friends. And subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Ratings, reviews, and shares help platforms like Apple Podcast and Spotify know it's worthy of surfacing to new listeners. And as we build our audience, we have more chances to hear their paranormal stories. A huge thank you to everyone who has given the show some love. You are helping it grow. No matter how you support the show, listening, telling others about it, or any other way, I absolutely appreciate your being here. Thanks again for listening. Stay safe and be well.